Hi children. So this is for class 8 standard. So in that we are going to discussing about the topic that is what cell structure and its functions. Okay. So many of the points we have discussed already in first video. Yes. So let us continue this lesson. So children, as I told you that cell is the basic unit of any living system. Yes. So our body is made up of what? Cells. So cell is the basic unit of our body, and cell is the structural unit of a human body and all the living organs. So I told you that who invented the cells? Cells are invented by Robert Hooke. Okay. See here, he observed cells under the microscope, and he coined the term cells for the first time. Okay. So Robert Hooke was the scientist who invented the cells for the first time. So do you know children how many cells which are present in our body? That is more than 100 and trillion cells which are present in our body. Okay. So based on this number of cells, we can classify the organisms into two types, that is what? Unicellular and multicellular organisms. Here unicellular organisms are those which are made up of only one cell, whereas multicellular organisms which are made up of more than one cell, which we are called as what? Multicellular. For example, I told you that amoeba is one of the organism which is made up of single cell, whereas the animals are the examples of multicellular organisms. So children, the cells are in different shapes. Okay. So the cells which are present in our body are in different shapes in different organisms. Okay. So these shapes of cells are irregular. In fact, amoeba has no definite shape. Yes. Unlike other organisms, it keeps on changing its shape. Yes. So when we observe the projections of varying length producing out of its body, these are called as what? Pseudopodia. Yes. So pseudopodia, as you learnt in class 7th, that these projections appear and disappear as amoeba moves or feeds. Okay. When these amoebas start getting feeds, means these projections, that is pseudopodias, which are up sometime when the amoeba goes to near when it goes to near the food, means it appear, that is pseudopodia appears on its body. Yes. So after the feeding, these pseudopodias are disappears. So this is the one of the reason that how the amoeba get changed its body. Yes. So that is how we can say that the cells which are present in the organisms are having a different shapes. So the another one example that we can take, that is what? A white blood cells. Yes. So I think you may have heard this word, that is white blood cells. Yes. So you have already studied in class 7th. So what are these white blood cells? These white blood cells which fight against the diseases which are present in the blood. Yes. So these cells, the cells of these white blood that do not have these cells which change its shape. Okay. So the cells of white blood do not have a definite shape, and these cells which can change. But while WBC cell is a cell which, these cells which are present in the blood, where it can change its shape. Okay. So amoeba is a full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. Yes. So here is that a white blood cell in human blood is another example of a single cell which can change its shape, but while WBC is a cell, whereas amoeba is a full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. Okay. So here WBC is a cell which is present in a blood. Yes. But when we can take it as a amoeba is a full-fledged organism. Why we can say that? In amoeba it is made up of only single cell, whereas all the functions which is carry out only in one cell. Okay. So which is capable of independent existence only by having a single cell. So what shape would you accept in organisms with millions of cells? So the different shapes are related to their specific function. So what are the shapes of a cell? Cells are there, no, which are related to their specific function. The different shape of a cells which related to their specific functions. Generally cells are round, spherically elongated, and some cells are long and pointed at both the ends. So they exhibit spindle shape. Cells sometimes are quite long, some are branched like the nerve cells or a neuron. The nerve cell receives and transfers messages. Okay, the shape of the nerve cell which receives and transfers message, thereby helping to control and coordinate the working of different parts of the body. So here is the pictures that shows the different shapes of a cells. So RBC, that is red blood cells which are present in a blood. Yes, so these are round shape, whereas WBC, white color blood cells which are spindle shape. Yes, so these WBC is there, no, which are spindle shape, and these white blood cells can change their shape. And also the nerve cells. Okay, this is one of the cell which help us to send the messages from one part of the body to another body. Okay, so these are the different shapes of the cells that we can see in unicellular organisms. Yes, so these which we are called, these are the cells which are present even in the multicellular organisms. So can you guess which part of the cell gives its shape? Okay, components. Which part of the cell gives its shape? The component of a cell are enclosed in a membrane. Okay, so the cells which are enclosed in a membrane, the what components which are present in the cells, no? So the cell which is enclosed in a membrane, and this membrane provides shape to the cells of plants and also the animals. Okay, see. So here is the cell wall. Cell wall is an additional covering over the cell membrane in plant cells. Okay. See, this is the cell wall that we can see only in plant cells. This cell wall which is absent in the animal cell, whereas it is present in the plant cells. Okay. So it is the cell which is enclosed to the cell, and it gives shape and rigidity to these cells. Which cells? That is what? That is the plant cells. Okay, generally the cell is covered by cell membrane. What? Cell membrane. So even this cell wall is the membrane which we can see only in the plant cell. Okay, so this membrane is there, no? It gives the definite shape and rigidity of the cells. Okay, so bacterial cells are also have a cell wall. Along with plant cells, the bacterial cells also have the cells. Next we will go to the size of the, what is the size of the cell? Can you imagine what is the size of the cell? Okay, you know that the cells are in very small size that we cannot imagine that. Okay, so this we cannot measure in centimeter or anything, any units. It can be measured in micro units. Okay, so the size of the cells in living organisms may be small a millionth of a meter, that is micrometer or micron, or maybe as large as a few centimeters. Yes, so however most of the cells are microscopic in size and are not visible to the unaided eye, that we cannot see. Yes, so they need to be enlarged or magnified by a microscope. Yes, so the smallest cell is what? The smallest cell of size, that is what? 0.1 to 0. Micrometer, that we can see in where? In the bacteria. Yes, so the bacteria cell which is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer. It's the size of the cell. This is the smallest cell of the all living organism. What about largest cell? The largest cell, that is what? Ostrich. That is 170 millimeter into 130 millimeter. It is the egg of an ostrich that we can consider it as a cell. So it is the largest cell that we can see in the all around organisms, all the organisms. Yes. The next point that we will discuss, that is what? Cell structure and its function. So children, you have learned that each living organism has many organs. Yes, you have studied in class 7th about the digestive organs, which together constitute the digestive system. Yes, so each organ in the system performs different functions such as digestion, assimilation and absorption. Similarly, so the different organs of a plant perform specific and specialized functions. So for example, that is root helps in the absorption of water and minerals. So each organ is further made up of a smaller parts called tissues. A tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. Okay. So now in this point, what we have to understand that what? So the cells are grouped together, produce tissues, whereas tissues grouped together form an organ. Yes, so these organ combined together form a living organism. That is what? The structure of a body. Yes, so an organ is made up of tissues which in turn are made up of cells. So the cell in a living organism is the basic structural unit of, okay, so the cell which are grouped together form tissues. Okay, tissues grouped together form what? Organs. Okay, so these organs combine together to form a structure of human, that is a systematic organization, that we are called it as what? Human body. Okay, so in this case what we understood that what? The cell is the basic unit of a basic structural unit of a human body or all living organism. Okay, so that is all living ones, multicellular organisms. Yes, so in this sense what we have to understand that cell is the basic structural and also the functional unit of a life, that is human body. Here structural means what? The cells which grouped together form a tissues. Okay, so tissues perform a specific functions. Based on that specific function, again these tissues combined together form, that is what? Organs. Organs means what? Here tissues, I will give some example, that is xylem and phloem. Yes, so where you have studied this about xylem and phloem, that is nutrition in plants. Yes, so this conducts xylem and phloem, which conducts water, which that is which help us to conduct water, and some phloem which help us to transport food to the all parts of the plant. Yes, so organs means what? Organs here means like heart, lungs, yes, pancreas, kidneys. So these are the organs. By combining these tissues form organs, and by these constructing of these organs form a systematic structure of human body or animal. Okay, so this what it shows, that cell is a structural unit of a organisms. It is the structural, and functions means that what? Here functions means each and every organ carry out a specific functions, as I told you that, like that is the digestive system which carry out in our stomach. Yes, and that is the digestive system, and some organs like kidneys which use it to perform, that is which is used to that is purify the blood. Yes, so these are the some, and lungs which help us to respiration. So these are the some organs which carry out certain functions. So by this what we can say, that cell is the basic unit of a function. Okay, it is the basic unit, that is functional unit of a organisms. Yes. So next we will discuss about the some parts of the cell. So what are the parts of the cell? The first part that we can see, that is what? Cell membrane. What? The cell membrane. See, the basic component of a cell are cell membrane, cytoplasma, and see here you can see the basic components of cell are cell membrane, cytoplasma, and nucleus. Why these are basic components? That means these parts which we can see each and every living organisms. These are the common components which are present in the cell. Okay. So the cytoplasma and nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane. Okay. So this is how the shape of the cell. So this is covered by a membrane that we are called it as what? Cell membrane. So cytoplasma which is suspended in the cells. Okay. So which is suspended in the cells, and whereas nucleus which is present in the center of the cell. Which is present in the center of the cell. Okay. So this is here is there no? This is what? This cell which is covered by the cytoplasma. So these are the three common parts that we can see each and every cells. Each and every cells of different organisms. Yes, and are also the which we are this cell membrane which we are also called it as what? Plasma membrane. So the membrane, this membrane which separates cells from one another. Okay. So this is this membrane which separate from one another. Yes. And also the cell form the surrounding medium, and the plasma membrane is porous. It is a porous means it has a small porous means it has a small holes. These holes which allow to movement of the substance or materials both inward and outward. So this membrane which having a small porous like a structure which help us to allow the movement of a substance in movement of the substances or the materials. What kind of a substances are the materials? That is what some of the nutrients. Yes, the water. So these are the some substances which help us to this membrane help us to allow the inward and outward. Best example, that is cells take oxygen from the atmosphere, that is from the outside of the body, whereas carbon released from inside the body. Yes. So this is how inside the cell. So this through this porous cells allow and outward inward the some materials from inside and outside the cells. Okay. So here is the structure that shows that the onion cork cell. Okay, this is the structure here you are seeing now. This is the structure of onion cell. Okay, this is the structure of onion cell, which is this is the structure of the under the microscope. So these are what? This is the cell membrane. That is what? Cell membrane. And inside the small round like a structure that you are seeing now, this is what we are called as what? Nucleus. The empty space that you are seeing now, this is what we are called what? Cytoplasma. Okay. So the boundary of the onion cell is the cell membrane, which is covered another thick covering cell, that is covering called, that is what? Cell wall. I told you that this cell wall that we can see that is in plant cell or in the bacterial cell. Okay. The central dense round body in the center, which we are called it as what? Nucleus. And the jelly like substance which is present in between the nucleus and the cell membrane, which we are called it as what? Cytoplasma. Okay. See, when we observe a thin slice of a onion slice, when we observe this thin slice under the microscopes, means we can see this type of a structure under the microscope. There we can see this structure. Yes, by using that we can see the structure of a cell. See, the protection for a cell. You have learned earlier that cell membrane gives shape to the cells. Yes. So in addition to the cell membrane, there is another thick layer in the cells of plants called as what? Cell wall. So this additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by the plants for the protection. So plant cell need protection against variation in temperature, high wind speed. Why this is plants have this hard thick like a protection layer? Because of that the variation in the temperature, high wind speed, yes, and atmospheric moisture, etc. Yes, so for the protection of these kind of variations, the plants have this the hardest, that is the strongest layer, that we are called it as what? Cell wall. So they are exposed to these variations because they cannot move. Okay, these plants are exposed to these variations. Why? Because the plants cannot move from one place to another place. So they were settled at they settled in one place only. For that purpose they have this strongest layer that we are called it as what? Cell wall. Yes, so cells can be observed in the leaf peel also of a Tradescantia, Elodia or Rio. You can prepare a slice as in case of onion. Yes, so these are the some of the cells that we can see in a leaf peel also. That what kind of a leaf? That is what? The peel of that is Tradescantia and Elodia and also Rio. Yes. See, along with these parts, cells are also different kinds of parts. That along except these cytoplasma, nucleus and cell membrane, there are many parts of the cells doing many functions. Yes. So here is some parts of the, along with these there are other parts of the cells are there, such as like Golgi complex. Yes, another that is mitochondria, ribosome. So these are the some of parts which are present in the cells, but it is not there for your syllabus, but still I will explain once in shortly. Yes, so cytoplasma, which is that is I already told you that the jelly like substance which is present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. So various other components which are present in that cytoplasma of the cells which are present in the cytoplasma, these are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosome, etc. Yes, so you will learn about then in a later classes. Yes, it is not there your syllabus. So these are the some parts which are present in the cells. Okay, so this cytoplasma is there. No? In this cytoplasma, these are the types which are present. Okay, that is what mitochondria. Do you know that mitochondria is that part where in this it produces energy? Okay, it is the part of the cell. In this it produces energy. Okay, so ribosomes which help us to synthesize the proteins. Yes, so these are the some part of the cells which are present in the cytoplasma that you have learned about in your later classes. Next, the another one main important component of the living cell. Okay, that is what? Nucleus. What? Nucleus. So nucleus is the important component of the living cell. It is generally spherical and located in the center of the cell. Where it is located? It is located in the center of the cell, and it can be stained and seen easily with the help of a microscope. This we can be see under the microscope. So nucleus is separated from cytoplasma. Why? Because the membrane called the nuclear membrane, which is help us to separate the cytoplasma. Like cells have a definite membrane, no, that is cell membrane. Likewise nucleus also have the membrane, that is what? Nucleus membrane. And like cell membrane, this membrane is also have a porous and allows the movement of the materials between the cytoplasma and the inside of the nucleus.